Alright, we're going to go over Summer. Summer is tuned down a half step on every string. A lot of people call it E flat. That's basically what this string ends up becoming. Instead of E, it is an E flat. We're going to go E flat. We're going to start here at the top at B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. From here on out, I'm going to call them by the numbers of frets and strings because I don't want to do all the transcribing in my head of what the notes are and have to get confused between a G and actually being an A flat. I think that's what it is, right? If everything moves down. Anyway, see, I'm already confused. Anyway, so Summer. How Summer begins, super easy. Terry comes in with the riff. A lot of people think that I do like finger runs, scales or something on a lot of at the beginning of a lot of these songs. It's not what I'm doing. I'm doing very simple, just like kind of things, right? In this one, I do a little variation. I go. Very simple thing. It's like doing a tritone kind of thing. It's not like it's one fret, one string apart. That's all I do at the beginning of the song. Then the first riff, which is kind of the main riff through all the verses. There's like slight little variations of pauses, but starts here on the A string, the third string, and it's the 5th fret. Then it jumps to the 3rd fret. This song has a lot of like string open kind of things that are in between, like how I open the A string. Does that all over the place. So now going to the So now when I go down to the 3rd on the 3rd string, now I'm going down to the 5th on the 4th string, which is the E string. Then I go back to that 3rd on the 3rd string, 5 on the 4th, 3 on the 4th, 1 on the 4th. So I'm going back and forth on the 8th fret between the A string and the E string, the 3rd and the 4th. Now, when I do the verse, I just go, but in between I think it's right before the choruses, and maybe in the bridge, I do this. So it's 3 times I go back and forth, starting on the 8th fret on the 3rd string. So far we got so what I'm doing there, that little riff there, basically like a major arpeggio, major like the first half, 1, 3, 5. And it starts on the 6th fret on the 4th string. Then it goes to the 3rd fret, or 6th fret, 4th string. Then it goes to the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and then the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Outlines a major chord. Then I'm going down to the 5th fret of the 4th string, then up to the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and back down to the 5th fret on the 4th string. So, same thing all the way through the verse, except I slowed down this part. Just one and that, just 3 notes instead of better, better, better. So it's 3, 5, 3rd string, 4th string, 3rd string on the 8th fret. So So going into the chorus, actually I do that. I do the faster one going into the chorus. So I go. So it's going from when it does that the chord and the major chord, and then I just open it. Then I'm on the beginning of the chorus, which is the first fret on the third string. So going there to the third fret on the fourth string, to the first fret of the fourth string, open, back to the first fret, back to the third, back to the first. So it does that. So same kind of thing. 3, 1, 0, 1, 3 on the fourth, and then open A, or in this case A flat. Open A to the first on the fourth, to the third on the fourth, back to the first. Open 1, 3, and then we're back to the top of the chorus basically. So all together it sounds like. So it ends off the da 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 on the third fret on the fourth string, open, and then it ends on the second fret on the fourth string, and that just sets up our turnaround on the. Then we're back in on the verse as normal. So after this two, we jump up to the third on the third fret on the third string, the A string. We do it. Then we're back into the verse as normal. This time, I was to let you go now. Things will be alright. Wee. So, anyways, we used to do that in the recording. That's how I remember the little pause. Wee. Wee. So, anyways. That's just always embedded in my brain forever. When we were first tracking that song, it was an on-running joke. Sometimes that always happens, and in rehearsal we'll still do it just to kind of make each other laugh. It's another inside joke. We have millions of them, but that's one of them. So anyways, then pause and then back into the regular verse. Same thing, and then when it gets to the right before the chorus, does the again that 3 back and forth. Same thing as the chorus. Same thing there, and then the only thing is when we do the turnaround. I don't think we do that this time. We did. Boom, boom, boom. So this is when the part gets heavy. It's kind of like the bridge part, and it's the same thing as the verse that does that. But the beginning of it, I'm taking it to the octave lower on the B string, the 5th string, and I'm slapping it. So I'm just going 3, 1, 3, and then back to the 5, 3, 1, 3 on the B string or the 5th string, and then I'm back on the 4th string, just like how it does in the normal chorus, from the 5, 3 to the 1. And I do that every single time. The doo 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 doo. I do that every single time in that bridge, that like pumped up part, that get out of bed part. And it's so hard to get out of bed. And it's so hard to get out of your head. Or your head or whatever. She's impossible to get out of your head. Anyway, so that's the verse, or then that's the bridge. So after that chord, the major chord, and coming back to the 5, 7, 5, we come up to the 6th fret on the 4th, or yeah, on the 4th fret. Pause there for a second, then da 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 da, and we end on the 8th fret. Okay, we're sitting there, and that's where Terry comes in with the da na 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 na. It's basically the ending epic part of the song. So Mike comes in there. I tried to give you summer. So basically, this is the shape for the rest of the tune. Is 6 on the 4th string, 6th fret on the 4th string, then 6th fret on the 5th string, and then 8th fret on the 4th string. So that's the whole structure of the rest of the song. Trying to give you summer. And then I do a little, again, just like the beginning. Try to give you summer, but on winter, just to make you spray. So I go about halfway through just doing that, very simple. And then when I get to the end of the first half, I go all the way down to the 1st fret, really ride that hard, slapping it, 1st fret on the 5th string, and then I come up. And now we're back into like a power chord strumming with the fingertips type thing at the very end of the song until it's over. Same exact notes is what's going on, but I'm adding the 5th as well to every single string, or to every single part. So it's making like a power chord, and 1 and a 5th thing. And what I got here is, if I'm doing the 6 to the 8, what I'm doing with my pinky, because it's a little more relaxed than playing with your ring finger when you're a little lower on the register of the neck. So it's a lot easier sometimes to use your pinky. A lot of people do this thing because that's what they're told as far as spacing. But when you're not using anything else and you're not getting really technical with the fingers and moving stuff around, I like to go as relaxed as possible, as conservative as possible, and I use the pinky. Okay? So I got the pinky playing. This time it's 1 string down, 2 frets over. It's a power chord, right? 1 and 5. So we got 6 here, and then we got 8 here. 6 here, 8 here, 6 here, 8 here. They're only separated by, they're just a string apart. So if I got 6 on the 4th string, I got 8 on the 3rd string. If I got 6 on the 5th string, I got 8 on the 4th string. If I got 8 on the 4th string, I got 10 on the 3rd string. That's what I do for the rest of the song. The way I end the song is just with the major chord. Alright. So that's the end of the song. So I do the last chord, which is the 6 and the 8, the 4th and the 3rd string, and then I just hit the 6th fret, 5th string by itself, and then I come up with the 1 and 3 major chord on the 8th fret and the 9th fret on the 1st string. So 8th fret, 4th string, and 9th fret on the 1st string. And that's it. On one of the recordings I did this little harmonic thing, but I don't have the 6th string because I did originally record it on the 6th string. Some of you might have seen the Busted video. If you haven't, I highly recommend you go find it on Amazon, because it's one of the funniest DVDs you'll probably ever see in your life, and it's absolutely true and absolutely chaos of how this band actually is. But there is this part where I'm doing the harmonics in that song, and there's it was meant to be in the song. It might be there. I didn't hear it when I was listening to it last night, because I got, as I say again, I got pretty bad speakers. But I don't have the 6th string, so I don't know exactly where it is, but it might not be there anyways. But you might hear it on the Busted DVD when there's a guy doing homosexual poetry. And this guy, actually, it was a funny story. He actually came in to our recording studio to do a session that day before we got to the studio, and he laid down this poetry that this gay author wrote, and we put it to our song. And it was while this was going on, and it's a pretty fond memory. It's funny, but we did that, and that was playing on there, and we're laughing. And unfortunately, it didn't make the record as we would have liked to make the record, because it was awesome. It was so funny, but it did make the DVD. So if you ever get a chance to either rent it from Netflix or order it from Netflix or buy your own copy of it, I strongly suggest it. Don't watch it with children. It has a lot of nudity in it, but it is definitely a hoot. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed summer. If you have any questions, email me at tyzamoramusic@gmail.com, and I'll answer your questions. And once again, if you have any requests, get those in. And if you want to take a lesson in person in Boston or Los Angeles, I'll be in Los Angeles pretty soon. But if you want to do any Skype lessons, I do package plans where if you want to do more than one and set up something, I do them a little more inexpensive than a one-off kind of lessons that I do, where I evaluate what your techniques are and how you're playing and where you can look to improve. Anyways, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next song.